Good morning, everybody. Well, it's morning for me, at least. Maybe not for y'all, but I am here. Today is February 14th, and we are going to watch some highlights from the news, discuss who's got opinions, who's got facts, and let's go fact check, okay? I don't know how often I'm going to be doing this. I'm hoping we get to do it quite a bit because I feel like it'll be fun, and it'll help me rant less on Instagram, I'm hoping, like being able to get it all out in one video instead of like Mavra stories. So if you haven't subscribed here yet and you enjoy reacting with me to lefties losing it, Fox News compared to MSN and CNN, of course, okay? And we will be watching some of the YouTube channels that I also tune into, like Decoy Voice, The Cartier Family, Devry Darkins, and Amer Odom, okay? Let's start here with Jesse Waters Primetime, and I think it's a few Fox News highlights. I think they have Hannity, The Five, Gutfeld, and maybe a couple others. I don't really remember. I really don't watch Fox News that often. I don't watch any news until like December of this year or December of last year because this shit's been nuts.
There's been a break-in at the IRS. Doge just kicked in the door and ordered executives to put their hands where they can see them. There was an ultimatum. We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Doge workers arrived today. Gavin Kliger and others arrived today at the IRS. Do you expect to close the IRS, or what are you expecting?
No, I don't expect it, but I think that the Internal Revenue Service will be looked at like everybody else. Just about everybody's going to be looked at. So it's they're doing a hell of a job. It's an amazing job they're doing. And you know that force is building these. I call it the force of super geniuses, but it's building. And you know they go up and they talk to some of the people about certain
Super geniuses. They are. That they are. Those big balls. They are some genii.
and the people get all tongue-tied. They can't talk because these people get it. They're very smart people. We need smart people.
Big Balls is making bureaucrats tongue-tied. What's this contract for? Terminated. Next up is NASA. Elon's nerd army is reviewing their spending. I have a feeling we're going to find NASA.
Yo, I wonder what NASA's money is going to. I feel like probably weapons, probably. Because how is it possible that Elon's done so much more with SpaceX than NASA has and in like way less time? Like way less time. Weird. I mean, not really, but it's
All about outer space.
It's sus.
If agencies can't justify their headcount, Musk's planning on slashing every department by 30 to 40%. If Doge finds an unused federal building, they're going to sell it and put the profits in the piggy bank. Trump has his eyes on
They should, you know what they should do with those empty government buildings? They should find a way to turn those into homeless shelters. And instead of like a homeless shelter, they should do more like how they have those rehabilitation centers or like old folks' homes, right? Where there's a nurse in there, there's a staff to help with cleaning, there's people for meds, there's people for helping with appointments, helping them get around. Because a lot of our homeless population does have mental issues. Sadly, like that's a really, really big factor. And if not, then it's drugs, which is usually caused by mental issues because a lot of them take drugs to help the mental issues. If we could find a way to turn those buildings into places for homeless or use that money towards building them a place, that would be the best. 14,000 government buildings. Wow.
1,000 vacant federal buildings. So if you want to live in an 80,000 square foot estate at the foot of the Potomac that's been collecting cobwebs for 6 decades, put in a bid. The government has more money than it knows what to do with. We just found out we're funding Palestinian hip-hop.
I uncovered over $3 million to a rap artist in Gaza producing anti-Israel, anti-Semitic songs. Is that the best use of American?
It's so ridiculous the way we fund both sides of the war because not only do we fund Hamas and Israel, we're also funding random people in Palestine who are obviously part of Hamas now. I could be wrong about this exact artist, but I mean, obviously, if he's attacking Israel, is it really a part of our cause? If we're helping Israel, it's just ridiculous. For me, I see it. It's all a coup. They want to keep calling what Trump does a coup. I think what they do in every other nation is a coup. You want to fund both sides of the war, including the terrorists, and then you want to come and step in like you're the nice guy, but you force those countries to take a bunch of shots from Bill Gates, take whatever you got freaking the CIA selling. I'm not going to mention names right now, but the things that they have people selling out there. We saw what Hillary Clinton did with those young girls in the UK, right? We saw what Reagan did with the drugs. Come on, guys. You think they're not doing that in other countries? There's no way they're not. And then we're stepping in and pretending to spread democracy? Not cool. Not cool. There's no way they're not all happy we're doing this. There's no way. Unless they really are terrorists and they really prefer America fall.
Taxpayer dollars, I would venture not.
And here's who got the money.
Mama Gaza's getting bombed, but nobody's saying it. I'm kinda getting scared now, but nobody's getting it. See, they terrorize my days, but saying that I'm the terrorist. How can I be the terrorist? Do you know what terrorist? Cause all my life I've been terrorized, so I can't be the terrorist. But sometimes I wish I was aborted, ripped out of my mother's wombs. I know I'm sick and I'm morbid, but they cannibals, they animals, they grilling our organs. Auschwitz reincarnated, brought back to life by the victims that were burned by the Nazi lights.
We sent $3 million to Kanye West Bank, his organization. We're paying Palestinians to rap about the bombs we sold Bibi.
He said he sent it to Kanye West Bank. Does that mean this guy's on Kanye West's album, like production agency? Like, is he a part of it? I'm so confused, Jesse Waters. We're looking it up right now. Okay, as far as I can find, it says USAID gave $3.3 million to American-born rapper. So he was born in America. So they sent him to Gaza to film this? The money was given to NGO, Tomorrow's Youth Organization, which is founded and run by the rapper. I can't find anything about Kanye. I have no idea what this is about. Whatever.
American taxpayers are like bookies. We're on both sides of every deal. We spent $20 billion to freak out a bunch of pets.
Injecting puppies with cocaine.
This is why I decided to watch this on camera with you guys. This one right here.
Cocaine, staging hamster fight.
So let's just hear that one more time. What was that he said?
American taxpayers are like bookies. We're on both sides of every deal.
Both sides.
We spent $20 billion to freak out a bunch of pets.
20 billion.
Injecting puppies with cocaine, staging hamster fight clubs, putting dead turtles on treadmills. Cats have marbles shoved up their rectums and are electroshocked to make them defecate in constipation experiments. Examine the effects of party drugs on animals injected with testosterone.
These people are disgusting. You call yourself a scientist? You're shoving marbles up a cat's butthole? You're not a fucking scientist. You're twisted. You should be in a mental ward.
Who are we buying the cocaine from?
What the? Yeah, who are we buying the cocaine from? Where's the cocaine coming from? Why are you injecting dogs with it? Are you fucking psychotic?
I can get a gram from Gutfeld and give it.
I can get a gram from Gutfeld. Okay, aside from that, no, seriously. That joke, I got distracted by that joke. Never mind, I'm pressing play.
The rookie. Why does that cost so much? I can find a dead turtle in a pond, throw it on a treadmill, hit start, watch it keel over. That's free. A hamster fight club? Did they hire Joe Rogan to announce the fight? $20 billion is what Trump asked Congress for to build the border wall. We did.
So that's sad. It would have taken $20 billion to build the wall, $30 billion to torture animals, and Joe Biden sold our wall at like a penny at a cost. A penny per dime or something crazy. He sold us out.
Instead. We're also learning through the New York Post, the Department of Health and Human Services wasted $22 billion buying migrants cars and homes.
They bought $22 billion worth of cars and homes for migrants. Illegal immigrants, I'm pretty sure. Let's make sure.
And giving them seed money to start businesses.
Yeah, to start businesses.
Now Jose has a Cadillac, a bungalow, a side hustle, and a credit score of 740. Did we buy cars and homes for folks in North Carolina?
I'm sorry, but the freaking housing market and the way things went, and the way real estate companies came in to just swoop up every property they could to citation everybody out of their homes. But yeah, buy houses for illegal immigrants.
After Helene? And Biden's EPA couldn't get the money out the door fast enough.
An extremely disturbing video circulated 2 months ago featuring a Biden EPA political appointee talking about how they were tossing gold bars off the Titanic, rushing to get billions of your tax dollars out the door before Inauguration Day. The gold bars were tax dollars, and tossing them off the Titanic
Means into their
meant
pockets.
the Biden administration knew they were wasting it.
Right before Christmas.
They're saying wasting it. And when they say wasting it, they mean pocketing it. Like, yeah, some of that money's getting wasted, but a lot of those overhead charges aren't going to their pockets. And I may be wrong. For sure, I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not in an investigative department, okay? I'm just some weird lady who's sitting in her kitchen talking to herself. Obviously, I could be wrong.
EPA gave the Climate United Fund $7 billion. This climate fund looks like a slush fund to funnel cash to Joe's donors for pet projects. We looked to see who ran the fund and went to the board of directors page. They scrubbed it. It's all gone. They took the money and ran. That's why Trump calls it the Green New Scam. Doge is saving over $1 billion a day chasing this trash down, and Democrats are acting like they're getting carpet bombed.
What does that mean when an unelected billionaire can waltz into our agencies and slash and burn the whole thing to the ground like a Taliban terrorist?
Only a Democrat thinks defunding cocaine puppies is terrorism.
Oh my God.
Bill Clinton fired almost 400,000 federal bureaucrats. No one called him a terrorist.
400,000.
We called him Slick Willie. And Trump and Elon
Slick
are offering
Willie.
very
I don't wanna know
generous
why they called
buyouts.
it Slick
75,000 workers have already
They called Bill Clinton Slick Willie? That's disgusting.
come up on it. The retirement cave hostages are working 24/7 processing all this paperwork. Trump's doing exactly what Obama wished he did.
One of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending. We don't need to wait for Congress in order to do something about wasteful spending that's out there. Cutting waste, making government more efficient is something that leaders in both parties have worked on. We haven't seen as much action out of Congress as we'd like, and that's why we launched on our own initiative the campaign to cut waste.
So Obama said he didn't need to wait for Congress to cut waste, fraud, and abuse. That's funny. The New York Times has always covered government waste under Obama, Clinton, Bush, everybody. Yesterday, the Times reported the federal government loses between $233 to $521 billion a year to fraud. And in the same week, the Times writes this headline: Musk asserts without proof that bureaucracy is rife with fraud. Without proof, the Times just reported the proof. And it's based on the government's own accounting. This is why no one trusts the media. Finally,
right.
Trump hired a rocket scientist with an IT department to root out the fraud, and the Democrats are against it.
Who the hell voted for Mr. Musk? Who the hell voted for, excuse the phrase, a guy who calls himself Big Balls?
He doesn't call himself Big Balls. Are you an idiot? He calls himself Hairy Balls. Their group is called Big Balls. Duh.
No one voted for Musk. So what? No one voted for Fauci either. You voted for the president, and he appoints people. And why are we even having this conversation? Trump ran on reform and won on it with Musk at his side. And Musk is doing everything under a national spotlight. He's not hiding in the shadows like Soros.
Does he want his pocket napkin? Looks like a wad of cash. You should make it look like a wad of cash. That'd be funny. Look funny.
Financing open borders and crime waves. These people are never going to learn. After getting humiliated by the Russia hoax, Maddow's back to spreading conspiracies.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United
It says Elon's Tesla deal is corrupt.
States Department of State that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying
400 million compared to the 500 billion y'all losing every year. Come on, gather yourself up, Rachel, Miss Rachel. Go gather yourself up and throw on your little overalls and your pink shirt, Miss Rachel.
quote, armored Tesla production units. Isn't it great and definitely not at all illegal or profoundly corrupt? Definitely not ripping us all off to pay themselves, right?
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him. Even liberals are calling Maddow out. The 400 million armored Tesla story is a fake scandal in a sea of real graft and horror. And there's a difference between Musk winning competitive bids to provide armored trucks to diplomats in dangerous countries and contracts going to Greek DEI consultants, Caribbean sex change surgeries, and, hamster cage.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about that one? They were giving hookers in Africa sex changes. Tell me if that sounds like a smart idea for Africa or America. Or the hookers. Just tell me, what do you think? Think it benefits any of us?
Rachel should stick to working Mondays. This 5 days a week thing's not working out for her. Teslas are made in America. The State Department asked for them, unlike
Transmusicals.
Sesame Street in Iraq. No one asked for that. Most of the country wants that stuff cut, and Democrats should too.
People want the government to work better. They believe that Mr. Musk, one of the most extraordinary entrepreneurs in human history, who does not fail at just about anything, they want him to do this, most Americans. They wanted Trump. They elected him. Democrats are only focused on one thing right now, Mr. Musk.
Very nice.
The fact of the matter, he's quite popular. He has the largest platform in human history, which is, of course, Twitter/X. And I think we're missing the boat as Democrats. And Democrats are being steamrolled.
This isn't just about money. It's about people behind the scenes abusing power they don't have to finance sick and twisted fantasies like migrant shopping sprees and sex changes and reverse racism and injecting narcotics into animals. Doge is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
From
Amen.
heavens above. The Wall Street Journal puts it this way, quote, Elon Musk's glorious rampage through official Washington is like something from a dream. Even Ronald Reagan, the great apostle of smaller government, couldn't achieve in 8 years what Mr. Musk has done in 3.5 weeks. The billionaire businessman is less apostle than avenging angel. The Department of Government Efficiency is the change we've been waiting for.
Amen.
The Democrats got caught cold in the middle of a bank heist. Doge walked into the vault. Democrats were stuffing wads of cash in their bags. And they're mad that Musk is telling them to put the bags down. The bank robbers aren't the victims here. The American taxpayers are.
All right, Hannity time.
Tonight, it is full steam ahead at the White House. So far, 16 Trump cabinet nominees have been confirmed by the U.S. Senate. This includes the newly sworn-in Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. On the heels, of course, of Tulsi Gabbard yesterday. The Make America.
I am so excited for RFK Jr. Like him getting yeses from so many people yesterday just made me so happy. Like, I was pretty worried that they might deny it. And if they denied him, I think a lot of people would be upset because a lot of people voted for Trump because of RFK. Like, we left our votes to vote for Trump so that we could have RFK in office with him helping. And if it wasn't going to be the health department, then we were going to hope for climate change. We were going to hope for helping the CIA. He is just a handy dandy man.
America Healthy Again movement is now an official part of your federal government. And by the way, don't worry, your measles, your polio vaccines will still be available at McDonald's and KFC.
Are you sure?
They will not be closing. But the Trump White House, by the way, is making big change.
Is this going to be like American Dad when they give up trans fats? Am I going to have to go to Canada to get some saturated fats?
Across the federal government, the executive branch is no longer on cruise control. We actually have a president taking the reins and taking it back from these unelected, self-important, far-left, deep state bureaucrats that nobody knows their names from the Washington swamp. And a lot of them, bye-bye, they're leaving. Of course, this has major implications, both here at home and abroad. We're going to analyze Trump's plan for reciprocal tariffs in just a moment. Kind of sounds fair, doesn't it? Did you know Canada taxes us? Did you know the European Union has high taxes on us? Did you know India has high taxes on us and tariffs?
That's one thing I wanted to look at. I wanted to check out tariffs that we are given, because I'm pretty sure it's like 125% at most places. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Pretty sure they said we are tariffed 125% in other nations.
Why don't we do the same to them, or they stop what they're doing? But that's not the only big news from the White House today. President Trump is ready to negotiate peace in Europe and lead a new era of communication, accountability, and peace, hopefully, worldwide. Take a look.
Do you want to have Russia back to the G7, sir?
I'd love to have him back. I think it was a mistake to throw him out. Look, it's not a question of liking Russia or not liking Russia. It was the G8. And you know, I said, what are you doing? You guys, all you talk about is Russia, and they should be sitting at the table. I think Putin would love to be back. Obama and a couple of other people made a mistake and they got Russia out. It's very possible that if that was the G8, you wouldn't have had the problem with Ukraine. And if I was president, you definitely wouldn't have had the problem with Ukraine. Russia would have never attacked Ukraine. We were talking about denuking, denuking, and President Putin and I agreed that we were going to do it in a very big way. There's no...
See, it makes me so mad. Nobody ever talks about, like, what Trump really says. Because he's constantly talking about how he wants to be the peacemaker. He wants to be known as somebody who made peace worldwide. That's all he wants. He doesn't say, I want all the power. I want revenge. We must fight for our nation. Fight, fight, and we must fight. You know who says that? People who are brainwashing you to feel very uncomfortable and stressed and like your life is at risk when nothing has happened that different. Like, unless you're a criminal, a little pedo. Are you a pedo? Are you a little pedo? Are you a little diddler? Are you a diddler that's illegal? Because then it might be a problem. If not, I don't know why you're worried.
reason for us to be building brand new nuclear weapons. We already have so many you could destroy the world 50 times over, 100 times over. And here we are building new nuclear weapons, and they're building nuclear weapons, and China's building new nuclear weapons.
It's week 4 of Shock It On. Now, keep in mind, the war in Europe started under President Joe Biden, frankly, the worst president in modern American history. Take a look.
I think Biden is incompetent, and I think when he said that they could join NATO, I thought that was a very stupid thing to say. I thought when he said, well, it depends if it's a minor incursion. In other words, it's okay if Russia does a minor incursion. I thought that was a very foolish thing to say. The other thing that got it started was how badly Milley and these stupid people, the bad generals, how badly they did with Afghanistan. I was going to pull out, but we were pulling out with dignity and strength, and we were going to take our equipment with us and everything else.
Did you guys hear about what really happened in Afghanistan? Supposedly they couldn't even like get a hold of Biden, and they had to kind of make the decisions on their own like last minute because shit hit the fan. Biden was like nowhere to be found. Nobody could like he doesn't communicate because he's brain dead. So ridiculous because this was so early on. This was so early on in his presidency. Oh, it's just gross.
They are, I mean, what they're doing is, what they did with that, I think Putin looked at that mess and he said, wow, this is a great time, I'm going to go in. This should have been done by Biden years ago. This should have never been allowed to happen. I know he's a friend of yours.
I honestly can't watch Hannity after this. We're going to finish this and then we're going to Gutfeld because they make my morning every morning.
He's a friend of yours. He's a friend of CNN. That's why nobody watches CNN anymore, because they have no credibility.
It's true. CNN's ratings are crap. I think they said 180,000 Dems are watching right now. Whereas on Fox, they have over 400,000. And on MSN, or CBS, I think, 200,000. So, there you go.
Joe Biden, he was asleep at the wheel. Those days, thankfully, are over. Peace through strength is back. America's newfound strength abroad doesn't just extend to our foes. Trump is also not afraid to hold our allies accountable, including our neighbor to the north. Take a look at this.
So I think Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
Going with Canada, there was obviously a delay in implementing those.
Look, we're getting Canada. The Simpsons already called it. We're getting Canada. I'm sorry, Canadians. If you're watching, I doubt it. I'm sorry if you are and you're upset. I do think you gonna be our 51st state. I don't think anything's gonna change for you. I think it's gonna be like Puerto Rico. I think it's gonna be like, well, now you're ours. We'll give you money. You're gonna have to follow some different rules and guidelines. Not talk to China anymore. But, yeah. I'm sorry, Canada. I'm excited. Now I get to go to Canada without passport.
I spoke to Governor Trudeau on numerous occasions, and we'll see what happens. But it just sets up so
Governor Trudeau.
People would pay much less tax than they're paying right now. They'd have perfect military protection. They don't have any military protection because they essentially...
I'm worried about the fentanyl in Canada. That's what I saw the other day. That was scary. They're #1 for fentanyl in all the world. I thought I heard my son.
Essentially because, and you take a look at what's going on out there. You have Russian ships, you have China ships, you have Chinese ships, you have...
China and Chinese.
A lot of ships out there, and, you know, people are in danger. This is a different world today.
Different
it's a
world.
different world. They need our protection.
By the way, just stop for a second. Isn't it kind of refreshing? We have a president, not predetermined questions. Let me go to Joe from Reuters. Joe, read the question that we pre-approved. I mean, kind of refreshing, extemporaneous, the president giving access to the media. You'd think they'd be grateful, but they're not. But anyway,
Okay.
one way or another.
We're moving on to Gutfeld. I love you, Hannity, but you put me to sleep. I'm sorry. There we go, Gutfeld, my favorite. All right, Gutfeld.
B-. Happy Thursday, everyone. So Attorney General Pam Bondi has sued New York leaders, including Governor Hochul, for prioritizing illegal immigration. Hochul claims these migrants are necessary for the state. After all, we need them to mow the lawns, trim the hedges, and weed whack her eyebrows. Bondi also removed a large framed photo of Joe Biden from the DOJ. It's the most Biden has moved in the last 4 years. Yes. A top Democrat fundraiser says Hunter Biden, who has no security clearance, was sitting in on high-level meetings. Off-the-record sources have confirmed Hunter's presence at the meetings by accurately describing his penis.
Oh dear. What I did hear, I want to say her name is Linda Lee. Oh well, we'll go over it later. Never mind.
I could have said scrotum. RFK Jr. was confirmed as Health and Human Services. Yeah. He was confirmed as Health and Human Services Secretary in a 52-48 vote, despite a protest by a group of local activists.
Oh, the bears, the poor bears. I like it.
A White House official says Canada.
I don't know if you guys know, but I guess he accidentally hit a bear and then set it up in a park in Central Park, I think. I don't know.
Becoming a 51st state is still on the table. One sticking point, however, neither country wants Drake.
Oh. He can go to Israel.
In Illinois,
Israel, he can go to Israel, right? Don't they love him there? They love the diddlers?
Democratic lawmaker says manufacturing is a field with fewer women because the word manufacturing includes man.
Right.
And it makes it sound like a guy.
It's not for women.
Great. Now explain to me why so many women menstruate. A U.S. judge has cleared the way for thousands of federal workers to take Trump's buyout offer, which will require them to come into the office to do it, which means they'll have to finally buy pants as they're at home. Speaking of, Jeffrey Toobin has joined the New York Times opinion section. Now, you remember him as the CNN anchor.
What? Is this for reals?
Who was caught masturbating on a Zoom call.
Are you
Which explains
serious?
the welcome gift he received from his coworkers.
It's not lotion, buddy. Don't use it as lotion, okay? Or go ahead.
And that's
use it as
not for
lotion.
lubrication, Jeffrey.
Same joke.
So it's clear that right now the Democrats need some help, a little guidance. Yep, the Dems could learn a thing from the late night king. First, the old concept.
Okay.
Hold your applause for the bedroom. First, the old concept of how to defeat Trump is dead. It's not Trump you need to defeat, it's yourselves. Before you complain about the neighbor's yard, you need to clean up yours first without asking illegals to do it for you. Your world has changed forever. And sorry, freaks, making our ears bleed won't help.
I mean, literally, he's right. They said Trump was a crook. They went through everything they could, every document, everything. And they took what they could, right? They did. They said fraud. For what? Some paperwork he didn't even fill out. Cool. Well, let's check out your paperwork, buddies. Let's see how credible you are, buddies. You seem so credible, especially right here. So credible.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against George. We'll fight on Musk. No Whelan's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk. Oh, which side are you on?
Love it.
I can tell you they are not on your side. They are not on my side. They're not on America's side.
Which side are you on?
Which side am I on? I'm on the side that's now deaf. Sounded like someone threw a bag of cats into a wood chipper.
Oh.
Migrants just saw this and ran back to Venezuela. But it's ironic, the party that is so pro-transitioning can't seem to transition themselves.
Can't transition themselves. Can't refer to the Gulf of Mexico as Gulf of America. Stop using Gulf of America's dead name. Stop using Gulf of America's dead name. It's rude and wrong, and you know it.
Right now, the Dems are behaving like bratty kids who've had their toy taken away, and that toy is power. They lost the government, the media, the American people, although they still got the View. But how?
The view from where, you guys? Where's their view from? Is their view from a toilet bowl? Is their view from a pile of shit?
Will they feed the cast without billions from USAID? So the reaction seems to be, why not lose our minds too? Tuesday, the New York Times ran an article that was such a piece of I had to put some Vicks Vapor Rub under my nose while reading it. Victor's. What's wrong with me? It says, quote, in Oval Office, Musk says without proof that bureaucracy is rife with fraud. But as Michael Schellenberger pointed out, even the Biden administration had listed the billions that America loses to fraud. Any real journalist could have found this out if they had stopped huffing their own ass gas.
Who is laughing so much? Is it the lawyer girl? Because she laughs a lot. She's funny, but that is a loud laugh. She must be high. She must be high today.
But with the daily revelations from Doge, the Times editors had no choice but to backtrack and change the headline. And now their problem seems to be that Musk's claims are too broad. Perhaps they were hoping no one would notice their mistake, like that time I once dropped my friend's baby. When I was at the Grand Canyon. The cracks were also showing over at CNN, where guest Chris Sununu tried to educate the albino Ron Burgundy on this very topic.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Some of the details that have come out,
And
like
fuck you,
the
America.
$59 million spent on luxury hotels, it's actually not.
Talking about the FEMA money that was abused for migrants. That was.
Yeah.
FEMA money for migrants. That's okay now.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put words in my mouth.
So would you stop that? Would you stop that process?
Don't be a.
Don't be a dick.
What do you say?
Don't be a dick.
Get out.
Such language. Thank goodness no one under 85 was watching. But it's clear for libs, the world has...
I'm not gonna lie. I have seen this guy's name on CIA lists already, so be paranoid, Anderson Cooper. Be paranoid.
...has gone off the rails. I mean, since when has Anderson Cooper come out against...
That was a good one. When has he? Andy and him don't do that no more. That was so good. Someone get him a Band-Aid. Someone get him a Band-Aid.
He hangs around Andy Cohen. I'm just saying, they're jerks. But the left has yet to realize there's no going back. They can't fix this. Because we're all so much wiser now. We've seen the ugliness firsthand. We can't go back to a government that wastes all our money on. We can't return to a legacy media that manipulated truth and pushed lies to harm Trump supporters, our country, our justice system, and our kids. A government where FEMA tells their staff to avoid Trump supporters' homes after a hurricane because the legacy news falsely painted Trump supporters as violent white supremacists. When are those jerk-offs going to do the perp walk? So we're not doing that again. Hell, I'll French kiss Whoopi Goldberg after she eats an entire red onion before I go back.
Okay, before we go back?
Yes.
All right. I'll do it too.
And it's no longer a
her name's
left
Karen.
versus right thing.
We're
It's
calling her
before
Karen.
and after. And the past is like a dead lover. The best you can do is visit the gravesite and mourn, which is easy for me because it's under my hot tub. But ultimately, you got to move on. Eventually, you have to see the world for what it is and not what the voices in your head tell you it is. Because one of the great things about Doge exposing everything is that we're learning that it's possible to change. And if in the future the same old government malfeasance returns, we can remember how Trump saved the economy in 2025. They cut $1 trillion in a year. It's doable. Trump and Doge has removed our blinders. There's no more innocence to fall back on. It's like my 15-year-old self after discovering his first Playboy.
Her hair is so
Who
pretty.
knew there was such great writing? The Biden White
Wow,
House
the
deluded people
hairstyles.
into thinking that this is what life was going to be forever. Trans, Soros, racial conflict, open borders, Jimmy Kimmel. And you better not fight back or they'll put you in jail. And now all of this stuff is being undone faster than Kim Kardashian's bra at an NBA minicamp.
A minicamp. NBA minicamp.
And with Doge opening the books, you can't close them. So that's my tough love message for today's Democrats. Stop behaving like you can undo the undoing. Sure, the truth
That's what
hurts,
gut feel.
but after what you did to us,
Shut up
we'll
already.
call it even.
Jump in. I want to see everybody else. Period.
Tonight's guest, she's no longer
There, she's the one who was laughing.
confined to just the
She's funny.
sideline. Host of the Michelle Tafoya podcast,
Michelle Tafoya. Michelle Tafoya.
His name is short for not rich, comedian Rich Hawk. Frankly, it would have been quicker to adopt a baby. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor, and he took 2 buses to work today, one under each arm. New York Times bestselling.
Took 2 buses.
Michelle, this is the first time I think I've seen this where a party is facing an existential question about their actual identity, and they haven't come to grips with it yet. What say you?
I say you're right.
Why, thank you. Let's move on.
Yeah, yeah. Next, it's crazy, and again, it's also the media can't move on. They are still so glued to the narrative that they've always been glued to. The New York Times. Look, I was a sports journalist, but any and all journalism should be curious, objective, and honest. And it's been years since the New York Times was that. And that headline that you showed just proves that. I did a little research. The New York Times digital subscriptions, they claim they're going up. But for their news-only digital subscription, down for 9 straight quarters. I think people only use them for Wordle now. I really do.
You know whose digital subscription's going up? Jeffrey Toobin.
Well, his subscription is going up.
We're talking these digits,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. A masturbation joke.
Oh, gosh, okay. You're taking me completely out of my thinking. Okay, so
That's
as,
why I like
as
Gutville.
Schellenberger pointed out,
Yeah.
It's much
you know
funnier.
what the numbers are. The Government Accountability Office tells us we're losing billions of, the federal government's losing billions of dollars every year. But if Elon says it, it's got to be sketchy. And I would like to point out also how these journalists now are introducing Elon. It's no longer Tesla founder Elon Musk. It's no longer founder of SpaceX Elon Musk. It's no longer owner of Twitter Elon Musk. It's unelected billionaire Elon Musk standing with his billionaire bro Trump, and they're not to be trusted. So they're turning this conveniently into a class warfare thing,
Of course.
as well. So I would just say to the New York Times, you know, after 2016 when Trump got elected, you said you were going to reassess and you were going to go find out what's going on in all of America. You've whiffed then, and you're whiffing now.
Whiffing all over the place.
Whiffing.
I feel like it's been about 3 weeks in the Trump world. Are you just having the time of your life? You look healthier, you look younger. I think you even bathed.
Well, first of all, you're not an MRI. But, okay, I might look good on the outside, but I'm melting on the inside, okay? I'm having the time of my life. Like, I've never seen one side just let it go. It's like a knight that had his arms and legs cut off and just sitting there going, just a mere flesh wound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let it go. The right is living rent-free in the left's head. It's over. Move on. You know what I'm saying? I say, you know, my wife said that to me. It's over. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? So I went back to my bedroom.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
Yeah, don't laugh too hard.
I know.
Don't laugh too hard. They don't want her to pop the baby out.
I can only hope. I mean,
Yeah, it's getting there. What is this, day 5 past due date?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a full moon.
I'm gonna be.
I hope you pop. I hope you pop today, girl.
Don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie. She is so funny. She's my. I want to say she's my favorite on the show. Gutfeld's funny, but he reminds me of how my boyfriend jokes, and I don't like that. It makes me laugh, but I don't like it as much as her. She makes really funny sports jokes, like they were talking about a team. I'm really bad at sports too. That's why I like her jokes. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. I get it, cause they lost, right?" Like she just thinks this stupid. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Oh well, she's funny. Let's keep going.
I have my towel.
Yeah.
I have my towel. I'm ready.
Wow. You know, all those years of playing football, on the center.
Making random kids across the country. I'm ready.
If she has her baby, do I hit bonus?
Bonus.
All right.
Yes.
What did you make of the song? The song was pretty great, huh? We haven't talked about the song yet.
Oh, it was rough.
That's from the 1930s. They're really progressive.
1930s.
Look, it's what I think it would be one thing to maybe criticize Elon Musk or criticize Doge, but to only do that and criticize the way in which maybe Elon talks about the fraud or uncovers the fraud and the waste, and not the waste and fraud itself, reminds me of the guy where if you confront him about you're cheating on me, here's the evidence, and he goes, you went through my phone.
I'm sure you guys saw that too, right? That Instagram, that TikTok where she says that. I'll put it here. We're gonna watch it right here.
How am I supposed to be with you if you can't trust me?
That is so true.
Like, and your reaction to it becomes the conversation.
Right.
It's like, can we not talk about what was found?
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently not. It's the exact same thing, because you think if you find have some issues with the weight or something, there's no mention from some of these people about what was found, which should bother you.
That's a great analogy.
It's because they know where the money's going, right into their pockets. They want them to stop looking. What that judge did was put a freeze on Elon Musk going in and seeing where the payments were made. So right now he's going through the books and he's saying, this money doesn't look right. Why is $300 billion going to dogs getting cocaine injected into them? Let's go see the overhead charges. Let's go see everything. They're not letting him go to see where payments were made. That doesn't scream guilt?
I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Iris! What say you about these crazy Democrats?
Well, let's take Democrat out.
Okay.
And to acknowledge what Kat so graciously put forward before. I will not say to her point.
It makes me feel like I'm not outnumbered.
Yes. And I don't want to be on there. So it's not cheating. It's the murderer who's on death row. They have the DNA. There was a video of the killing, and he's still in front of the camera going, that wasn't me. You know, and with Elon, next month it'll be, you know, he's a whore, right?
OJ?
Yeah.
See all the children he's had out of wedlock. Look at the way he dressed. You can't, they're doing the old 1950, like shake him down because he has the evidence. The reason why everyone's so frustrated on the left, the Anderson Coopers and all these, because they have financially benefited this entire 4 years.
And at that point, I'm sure they were told it would pay off. You guys lying and getting all this money, there's no way it could go wrong. There's no way we could get caught. Look how much money we're putting into it. God wins. God always wins.
They get, oh, you're our guy. You get to host New Year's. Here's a couple million. Here's this. Your speaking engagements are suddenly worth millions. All of that's going to go away. So that's why they're fighting. It's always the people. It's always the people involved in the fraud that fight till the very end.
Yes.
And you can see them because they get frustrated. He just called a dude on TV because he was losing the argument. And to Greg's point, usually that'd have been a compliment.
Yeah, for Anderson Cooper. Okay, so that was our morning news with Gutfeld and a little bit of Hannity and Jesse Waters. But I'll see you guys this afternoon or tomorrow. Either way, enjoy your day. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a lovely one. And if you're spending the day alone, I just did a tarot video for all the single peeps out there, okay? But it's gonna be on Instagram. It's gonna be super short. If you're in a newer relationship and don't know where things are headed, we just did a tarot video on YouTube. I'll make sure it is right here. So you can go ahead and go click on that too, okay? Have a blessed one, guys. Don't get duped. Don't get duped. Stay woke.